Hey everyone, how's it
Welcome
going?
back, people.
Revitalized
This
Podcast.
is the Revitalized Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Oliver.
And I am your co-host, Del Sherwood.
And today, this is one of my favorite episodes by far.
Mine too, definitely.
We're going to highly encourage all of you guys, listen all the way through to the end. We get really excited, so we're a little all over the place, but if you watch all the way to the end, it's going to paint a very complete picture for you guys. We think and we hope anyway. And I'm sure you figured it out from the title, but this episode, it's all about managing money, making money, doing the things that you need to prioritize your health and make your health a reality. There's so many people in the world, especially in times like these, that think that they don't have the resources, or they're not in the right location, or they're just being healthy isn't possible for them just because they don't think they can afford it. This episode, we're crushing all that because it is completely not true. Okay, we're giving you guys all the tools, the tricks, the hacks, everything that we've learned with all of our years and years and years of doing this with many different kinds of people in different income brackets and budgets and all these things, just how to make your health a priority in any situation, because you absolutely can, and there's no reason not to. And we're just giving you guys some practical wisdom and advice on how to actually do it and how to start. Because maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know where to start. But you watch this episode all the way through and you will.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're super excited to share this episode with you.
It's going to be a very good one.
There's a lot of great info in this. And we really, really hope you enjoy.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Have an amazing day, guys. Talk to you soon. So you want to be as healthy as the 1%? This is how you do it.
Not necessarily about how many resources you have, but how resourceful you can be.
You don't need to spend thousands of dollars every single month in order to be healthy.
There is about a 62% increase in male infertility.
Not prioritizing your health is not an option.
There's $3.8 trillion that go towards treating chronic conditions.
It's what, like somewhere between like 40% and 79% cheaper to make food at home versus eating out. If your life was literally on the line, if you were going to die tomorrow, you would find a way to make it work. Who are you to go try to tell anybody to make better choices with their health and with their life if you're not doing it yourself? You can change your house. You can save your household. You can save your own family. If we can do it, if they can do it, you can do it too. There's no excuses ever. Just make it freaking happen.
Okay, guys. Today we're going to talk about health and how to be healthy regardless of how much, pretty much regardless of how much money you do have in the bank.
You see like all these movie stars, these billionaires, all these millionaires, these people that hire personal trainers and they got private chefs and they have access to the most expensive supplements on the planet. And they all look really good.
Well, not all of them, but
some of them.
Good amount. You get the point.
Chris Hemsworth looks good.
Now I know your celebrity crush.
Anyways, so today we're going to teach you guys how to be extremely healthy.
Yes.
And be just as healthy as the people that have all the money in the world, even if you don't have all the money in the world.
Or at least some tips to afford the things that you need to be healthy or to make better choices.
Well,
No.
Be however healthy you need to be, have all the money that you need to be, because it's incredibly important. Your health, it's not a side project.
Yeah.
It's not something that should be put on the back burner and it's like, oh, okay, that's like a credit card payment. You just roll it off till next week. That's not, don't ever do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. I was just going to say.
Don't do that with your credit card either. But even more so, if you had to choose between your health and your credit card, definitely put your credit card on the back burner.
Regardless of how much money you do have, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you don't have, the time to spend with your family or the time to, have fun, to enjoy it. So regardless of how much money you make, let's say you make $1 billion by the time you're 70 years old, but you spend all your time working, then who cares if you have $1 billion? It's not like it's going to come with you after you die.
If your back's in pain, your knees are sore,
if you're miserable,
you can't spend time with your grandkids, you're bedridden because you got cancer.
You're like fatigued all the time, constantly. Like
if any of you guys that answered no, that you would like to keep living and not take the money, that means that you value your life more than you value $1 billion or $10 billion. That's a great thing. You need to have that. But that also means that if you value your life that much, you should value your health even just as much, because your health is the only thing in this world that is going to give you more time and allow you to live longer and allow you to experience your life longer. You can't buy a Ferrari's not going to give it to you. A Bugatti's not going to give it to you, no matter what Tate says. There's nothing that you can buy or use your money for or invest into other than you and your health that will allow you to live longer and enjoy your life and avoid death and age as bitterly and resistantly as possible, so you stay a super young, vibrant, healthy person for a longer period of time. There's
Absolutely.
nothing else that'll do that other than your health.
And maybe some of you thought like, oh, well, if I had that money, then I could give it away to a lot of people, and then a bunch of them could get healthy. Well, that's
great.
that's a great
I
thought,
mean, it doesn't cost $1 billion to be healthy.
okay, but
That's
hold
nuts.
on. But my point is that every single life is priceless,
Mhm.
and although that would be like a noble thing to do, to give it all away and stuff so that they could have the lives that they want,
Mhm.
you're needed here, and you're here for a reason.
Mhm.
And your life is not so unprecious and unvalued that it's worth a certain dollar amount.
Totally.
Like it's not. No, like no amount of
100%.
money can compare to one single human life, including yours.
Not even close.
So I know that sometimes that can be a hard thing to accept, especially when most of us, we've been told that we're worth nothing our entire lives. But that's not the truth. That's a lie.
It's
And
100% a
that's
lie.
the one thing though, is like just how, you're told a lie enough, eventually you'll believe it, and eventually you'll believe it as the truth.
Mhm.
But another thing also is that a man convinced against his will is unconvinced still. So even though you've been
Boom.
told your entire life that most likely that you're not worth anything, you actually deep down know that you do have some value.
Mhm.
And we just want to encourage you to like hold on to that and remember that if you continually tell yourself that, hey, I am priceless, I am worth it, I am worth, working on myself and becoming the better version of myself to be successful and to do those things, and then to have that money so I can spend it with my family, so I'm involved too. It's not just them, because
Mhm.
your worth and your value to this world is not just so you can give money away to other people.
Totally. Well, and also
Mm-hmm.
on that note too, if you are the kind of person that has that sort of heart, and if
Yeah.
you did have $1 billion, it wouldn't ruin you and turn you into a total piece of garbage, and you
Thank
would
you.
give that away, that's all the more reason why you need to stick around way longer, so you have
Yeah.
more time to make even
Mm-hmm.
more money and have more things that you can give away, because there's so many people in the world that have so much money and none of
Yeah.
them do nothing good
That's
with it.
so true.
We need more
We
people
do.
that have that kind of heart, that would do good things with the money and use
Mm-hmm.
money to make the world a better place, instead of
Yeah.
just making their lives fancier with yachts and boats and
Exactly.
planes and weird trips to stupid islands.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
yeah, and then one other part, sorry, is that it's just that when someone
See what I
makes
did there?
that, or, yeah, when
Yeah.
someone makes that kind of money, then they're able to handle that kind of money.
Yep.
And a lot of times, people, look at people who've won the lottery. A lot of times, people, if they get too much money all at once, they don't know actually how to handle it, how to
Big time.
actually use
It
it,
ruins them.
and it does. It can definitely ruin you if you
Destroys
are not
people.
prepared. It's like it's like someone who has never worked out in their life ever like trying to do like a 300-pound squat. Okay, it's not like
Not going to work out
it's
for
not going to
most
work
people.
out so well. You have to build your way up so you can handle that kind of pressure, that kind of
Yep.
weight.
Totally.
And another thing too is like if someone is capable of being like quite successful and make a good amount of money, then that means they have the mind and the skills and the expertise to actually do and some great things in this life, and to find solutions for problems, because throwing money at problems is not going to solve the problem. Look at how many problems we have today.
Well, it'll solve a lot of
Well, it
problems.
solves some
It'll
problems,
solve
but
most
no.
problems.
But my point is that you can put money into a problem, but the way that they're dealing with that problem and using that money and utilizing that money is improper. And it's not actually going to fix the problem. It's just going to make it a little bit better, maybe
Cancer
for
surgery.
a little bit longer. It's not gonna necessarily fix the problem. And so one of the things that really works out is if you do become someone who is successful and quite expertise and skilled and stuff, is you're gonna have that mind and that creativity and that wisdom to know how to actually be strategic into solving the root problem of
Hopefully.
that issue and actually fixing the problem. Because there's too many issues in this world that it's like this should have been solved already. Like there's no reason why we still have to have homelessness, especially in America and Canada. Like it's actually ridiculous, you guys. When you really look into it and you really think about it, so many of these problems, like sure, it's one thing if someone refuses to work or they're they're choosing it, but then there's like literally people who work 40 hours a week and they're still on the street, in LA, for instance, and so many other issues that just shouldn't be
Totally
issues, just shouldn't be issues. So not only do we need money heading towards certain problems,
we need
but we need
smart people to have
we
money
need people with good hearts, okay, with good hearts
and
who
smart.
that are smart, like the ones watching this podcast right now,
Exactly.
that want to make this world a better place. And so you are needed so much more than any money you could possibly give to a problem or to people.
Big time.
So
Big time.
just
And also
yeah.
it just kind of circles back, goes to that thing. If you don't
Yeah.
have anything if you don't have anything to give, you cannot give anything.
Mhm.
If you walk past somebody on the street and they ask for money to buy some food and you don't have any money in your pocket or in your wallet to give them, you cannot give that person nothing, no matter how
Yeah.
good your intentions are.
Mhm.
So if you are a good person, just like Ella's saying, it's all the more reason why you need to have as much resources available to you as possible,
Mhm.
and why you need to change your mindset to using all your energy and using your work ethic and your talents and your skills
Mhm.
to make something out of your life so that you have more in you to give to the world.
Exactly. Amen.
If you want to live on, $80,000 a year, go for it. That's totally fine.
That's
Make
yeah.
100 million, give 920,000 away. That's great.
That's fantastic.
Totally
That's fantastic.
cool.
But
There's
you're
nothing
still
wrong with that.
needed. You're still needed. Money is needed too, but you are still needed.
Mhm.
We need you. As this world needs you. You're here for a reason.
Okay, and despite what the title of the video says, I just want to make this very, very clear, because you guys will, if you start to pay attention to these people and you study them, you start to learn about health and you start to recognize the signs of a healthy person.
Yeah.
Okay, you will actually find out that almost all of these super rich people, billionaires, millionaires, celebrities, movie stars, singers, songwriters, all these people that you have access to every possible resource. They have personal trainers and private kitchens and chefs and everything. Okay, what you will find out is most of these people are not actually healthy. They just look good, but they're not actually healthy. And we know they're not actually healthy because most of them die pretty early and pretty young. If they were really healthy, the evidence would show to the contrary and they'd live a long life. And most of them do not. And that's because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't know how to create a good, healthy diet, if you're just trying to blow money at problems and you're doing drugs and you're drinking on the weekend and you're doing all these things, this and that, I don't care how much money you have, you will not actually be healthy. Okay, so don't be tricked and don't be pulled into the guise of all these people that have abs and they got guns and buns and they look good and they have these big fancy houses and stuff. Because if you get to know them, if you actually get a chance to meet any of these people and you see the way they live their lives and just you watch them over these next few decades, they're not very healthy. Not at all.
So the first thing we want to talk about, guys, is actually changing your mindset around like that you can be healthy, around money, around health,
what you can afford, what you can't afford. It's critical. Okay, we talked about it a little bit before already on this podcast, but you need to win the battle in your mind. There's so many things that people believe and are told through marketing and propaganda and big companies and all and society that just are not true at all.
Definitely.
It is not that much more expensive to live healthy than it is to live sick and tired and to eat McDonald's and fast food and things like that. I mean, like it's what, like somewhere between like 40% and 79% cheaper to make food at home versus eating out and going to McDonald's and A&W and all these restaurants and all these kinds of things, so like it's all about just, you need to change your mindset and change how you think about your health and change how you see yourself and change how you live and operate day to day in your life. Because your health, we said at the very beginning, it's not some like back burner thing that you put off to the side. You need to make your health 100% your top priority.
Yes.
Your health, you're paying for your health and investing in good food and buying supplements if you need to, and buying courses and programs if you need to learn things about how to diet and how to exercise and all these kinds of things. Like that sort of stuff, that needs to be just as important, if not more important, than paying rent, paying your phone bill, and paying your taxes and those kinds of things. It's not.
Okay, but no, paying rent is a little bit important. But like, but
well,
like,
yeah, but if you die of a heart
but
attack, someone else going to move into your apartment anyway.
like, okay,
It's important,
Yeah.
but your health needs to be just as important. I'm not saying
Yeah.
to take food off your table to buy a program or hire a coach or do anything stupid like that. That's ridiculous. That goes without saying. but making sure that you are just seeing and prioritizing your health as something just as important as those things that you need to have money set aside for, and you need to be, investing in maybe a little bit of a bigger grocery bill every month or every week if you need to. Like, that's something that's well worth your money. If you need to
Definitely.
cut back on snacks and highly processed foods. I mean,
Mhm.
so much of the stuff people buy, you don't need bags of chips. You don't need cookies and snacks and things like that. There's so much money that people spend on stupid stuff,
Mhm.
especially people that try to eat healthy. Because,
Yeah.
like, you compare like an apple, an organic apple to an unorganic apple. An organic apple is usually a little bit more expensive, but it's not like crazy. We're maybe talking about like 10, 15, 20 cents an apple. That
Yeah.
adds up, but it's not like a massive expenditure for most people.
No. Yeah,
Okay. It's
like
not even going to be nearly as much as your freaking Netflix subscription.
that was one
All
thing I was
right.
gonna say. Like, instead of paying for streaming services, put that money towards organic food and then just download videos illegally.
Exactly.
Like, that's, I
Exactly.
mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
It'll be
frick,
great. Like,
there
heck.
people have downloaded movies for dumber reasons.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you do that. Okay, you do that kind of stuff, right? And then people have all these things. They try to buy healthy, and then instead of like actually making smart choices with their money, they just buy the Annie's mac and cheese
Yeah.
versus the Kraft Dinner mac and cheese.
Or
It's
the
still
keto snacks.
or the
It,
keto
like,
snacks.
yeah.
It's still you're still eating mac and cheese. I don't care where it's coming from. It's not really going to be that healthy for you, and you're eating it all the time. But only now you're spending 3, 4, 5 times as much because you're buying the organic, gluten-free, keto-friendly option. But you're still buying something you don't actually need. So if you're really on a tight budget, sacrifice and stop buying all that stuff, or make it yourself and spend a little bit more time and do it in a way that you can afford it. Because just not prioritizing your health is not an option. It's where the world's going, where it is now, with how often people are getting sick these days, with all the crazy crap going around in the air and getting spread from person to person. Like, not prioritizing your health and putting it on the back burner is not an option anymore.
Yeah, you
With
guys.
how polluted and toxic the world.
Right?
Sorry, honey.
It's
With how
okay.
polluted and toxic the world is these days, and how much stuff is constantly getting exposed to every single one of us all day long, every time we leave the house, even when we're in the house cleaning, just with crazy, crappy chemicals and stuff. Like, it is not an option to not be a healthy person. You need to do whatever, whenever, however you can to make sure that your health and your family's health are as good and strong as you possibly can be, because that is the only way to live a long, good, happy, healthy life. Like, you need to make it happen. It's not an option.
It is. It isn't an option. It really isn't. And you guys, like, if we look at the States, for instance, it's 1 in 4 adults that have at least one chronic condition.
Which is freaking nuts.
And that has accelerated over the years, for sure. There are a lot of conditions today that people didn't even hear of like 50 years ago.
Totally.
Like, this is
you
a
ask
really
like
big
an
thing.
older person, your grandparents,
Yeah.
ask them if they had a children's hospital in their community.
Exactly.
Ask them if they had a children's hospital in their city, anywhere in their state. Maybe there was a few floating around, but it wasn't like a common thing where
like
you needed to have a hospital big enough to house nothing but children, because you have so many sick children that you need to have an entire hospital for them, and multiple. That's not a proud accomplishment. That's not something that we should be proud of as a society. Oh, we have this ribbon cutting for this massive building that's housing all these sick kids. No, why do we have so many sick kids? We need a giant building for them.
Seriously.
That is not normal, and that's not how things used to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago.
No, definitely not.
That is not, like, ask anyone that's been around back in the day when they used to have, they rode horses at school, or they had buggies and things like that. Like, that's not the way things used to be, and it's not the way things are supposed to be. And you can do something about it for you and your family. You can't change the entire country. You can't change everybody
necessarily.
But you can change your house. You can save your household. You can save your own family.
You can save yourself.
And you start there. And once you guys are the example, once you're the example, your wife's the example, your husband's the example, your kids are the example, and you've proven it, that's when you go out and you try to save the rest of the world. And you try to save your neighborhood, and you try to save your school, and you save your district, and you save your community. But you need to make sure that you're healthy first.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to that analogy. I use this all the time. We both do. If you want to be a Coast Guard, you want to be a lifeguard, and you want to go save people in the middle of the ocean, you need to be a ridiculously good and powerful swimmer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the person you're saving will take you both out.
Yeah.
They're panicking. They're freaking out. They're drowning. And if you're not strong enough to carry yourself and them in the middle of the ocean and avoid their flailing elbows and their flying arms and getting smoked in the nose and
Honestly,
getting
just
knocked
knock
out.
them out, you know, like
Oh
knock
yeah,
them
you
out.
know, they'll train you to do that if you have to.
You have
If
to,
you,
yeah.
I personally, if I was in a boating accident and I'm drowning, I'd rather get knocked out than
Yeah.
drown because some guy can't handle me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you know, if you want to do that, you need to be a ridiculously powerful swimmer. If you're not a good swimmer, if you're somebody that's barely treading above water yourself, you can't go save anybody else. If you're sick and you got all these issues and you get sick all the time, you have all these diseases and you got these health problems, who are you to go try to tell anybody to make better choices with their health and with their life if you're not doing it yourself?
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
For sure.
Like we're holistic health coaches. That's our job title, right? What we really do, our actual job, we need to be the healthiest person in any room that we walk into ever. Otherwise, we got absolutely no business telling anybody nothing about diet or supplements or detox
always
or
the
anything.
Case.
It is, because we're really good at this.
Literally. And then
but it's the same thing for you guys.
Yeah, right. And so, like another thing too is like you look at the economy, and how much goes towards treating chronic conditions.
Chicken is these days.
Like, okay, let me finish.
Nuts.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
There's $3.8 trillion that go towards treating chronic conditions. Okay,
that is mind blowing.
And and the U.S. spends $788 billion on their military. They spend way more on treating chronic conditions, which are preventable, than they do their literal military. That's America. They love their military.
The only people that might be more passionate about their military than Americans is the Russians.
Yeah, Russians or China, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like there's other.
America's definitely up there. America.
Heck yeah.
Guns and tanks and stuff. You know.
Like and
like they spend how much more?
Okay, it's about a $212 billion difference.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and and you look at, like, for instance, even fertility issues in the U.S. and globally as well, and those are really going up.
They're only going up.
In the last 50 years,
not going down.
In the last 50 years, there is about a 62% increase in male infertility. In the past 50 years.
That's crazy.
So in America, it's about 1 in 6 couples have issues with being fertile, with having a kid. And then in Canada,
and that's the worst kind of issues, getting pregnant things. Not even talking about like erectile dysfunction or people that can't perform and they have to do it over and over and over again just to finally get one in the chamber that works.
Yeah.
It's the numbers do not lie. And they're not looking good.
No, they're not looking good. And children are getting more sick. They're being born with chronic conditions.
40% of children in America, and I don't know the exact statistic for Canada, but 40% of kids in the States are obese right now.
Guys, we're like, as a society, don't do what everyone else is doing, because clearly they're doing something wrong.
Normal's not working.
No.
So you need to break the mold. You need to get the hell out of your comfort zone and make your health a priority. Make creating wealth and being a successful, independent person doesn't need to be controlled by any massive organization of any kind a priority. Make being a good, honest, genuine, real person a priority. Like, these are things that you can't just goof around on the weekends and just waste all this time and expect that you're going to get anything done. That is not how things work. That's not the real world. And the way the world's going, being healthy has never been more important and something that you have to spend more time or energy or resources into fighting against all the stuff that's making you not healthy.
Absolutely. And another thing too is, like, that is literally the definition of self-love, is when you take action towards actually caring for yourself. So your organs are happy, your blood is happy, your skeletal system is happy. Like, a lot of the things that we eat, and we've been told by society, like, oh, this is body positivity, just eat what you want, eat all the cake, eat this, that. You're going to cause yourself
self-love,
issues.
that's self-indulgence.
That's self-loathing. Literally, that's self-loathing, because you can cause damage with the continual, habit of eating very, very poorly. You will literally cause damage to your body. You will harm your mental health. Yeah.
But all that stuff, that's just extremely slow suicide. That's all that is. You are just killing yourself in the slowest way possible. And that needs to stop. That does need to
stop. And, we have to just, like, accept, okay, you know what? Like, I'm going to I'm just going to find my why, my real reason for actually making these decisions. Because a lot of people will say that they care about their health, that they'd like to be healthy. And yet you look at
But
their
then not
actions
actually
and
do anything about it.
that's
Not
not the
do a
case.
single thing about it.
You have to find your why and make sure it's a big enough why and important enough
Yep.
to you.
Yep.
Regardless of what the reason is, but it has to be important enough to you in order for you to make those decisions.
Totally.
And so much of our health and fitness industry, I think they've just really tried to bring people in, to buy their products or, pay for a gym membership, that sort of thing, by trying to sell sex. By just
You
like,
think?
just by just
You
promote
think?
it. Yeah. Right. By just
It's
promoting
a
like, oh,
gong
you'll
show,
look
dude.
good and everything like that. And then you see like the fruit
The aesthetics
of
and the
that.
vanity and the way you look and
Yeah.
how you look in the mirror after weight loss, or how you look in the mirror after you put on muscle, or all those things that people think is like the main appeal to becoming a healthy person and going to the gym and doing all these things. That's literally the least important part of it ever. It is the thing that matters the smallest amount. It has absolutely nothing compared to how you feel and how differently you think and how much faster you can make good decisions, and the smile
Gut
on your family's
decisions.
faces
Yeah.
when you know that they're not sick like everybody else is, or that they know that you're going to be around for a long, long time, or the security that your spouse has knowing that she's not going to have to worry about you dying of some kind of debilitating, avoidable lifestyle chronic disease. Like your health is so much more than how you look in the mirror.
Absolutely.
And that's cool. That's very important. Like if you grow
Yeah,
up and
that's
you're super
important
skinny
too.
and you want to put on 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle, like go for it, man. All the power to you. If you were super fat your whole life and you want to lose weight and get into healthier shape and you want to feel good and feel confident about how you look physically and about where your body's at and how people see you, like that's not a bad thing at all. But it's so far down the totem pole of what's actually important and what actually is the real reasons why you'd want to be healthy and the actual benefits you get out of being healthy and prioritizing your health. It's not even funny.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the second point that we wanted to make is like how important it is to make money, because obviously you're going to make money for everything in life, including your
Yep.
health. So you can still be totally resourceful regardless of the income that is coming in right now.
Yep.
Right? It may
Yep.
not mean that you are able to pay for everything that you want, but you can still do a lot, at least cut out a lot of the crappy things that are available and are sold to people, even though there's so many ingredients and products out there that are literally carcinogenic, that are literally corrosive.
Like take a free online course on budgeting and managing money, and put a little plan together and look and see where your money is going, and most of you, almost all of you, are going to be shocked at how much you spend on stuff you don't actually need. No, definitely mildly surprised.
Better perspective.
Like, and so much money people make goes on so much stupid stuff, especially people that don't have a lot of money to spend on stupid things. They're the ones that do it the worst, because the people that make lots of money, the very wealthy people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or millions of dollars a year, or they run big companies, they've developed the skills, just like you were talking about earlier, to know how to manage money and know how to work money and make money work for them and all these things. So they pay attention to those kinds of things. And the rich people and the people that have lots of money are often the best ones with their money. That's why they got so much of it. So the poor people, or the lower middle class, and the people that are always struggling to pay bills every month, and they're always stressed out because they never have enough money to get their head above water, those are the people that typically spend the most on things they don't actually need. And just doing that, just cutting out extra expenses that are not necessary and are not nearly as important as things that you can spend money on for your health, is going to give people such a better fighting chance. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And you look how the saying is, how you do the little things is how you do everything.
Yes.
So the difference between
that's biblical.
Oh yeah. the difference biblical. Okay. The difference between a person with less income managing their money and the different and in contrast to someone with more money managing their money is the same. Maybe one person has more like numbers for them to manage into their different groups or to like distribute and stuff, but it's the same skill. It's the same skill. Like one is a little bit of a higher stake, like if you have to pay employees, that sort of thing.
Sure.
But it's still the same. So how do you know that you can actually handle more money if the money that you do have right now, you're not even handling properly?
Well, I know you won't.
So yeah, like it's just, like
The way you
you
handle
have to,
$10,000 is the same way that you'll handle $10 million.
yeah, exactly.
Except you'll lose the $10 million
A
way
lot
faster
faster, a
because
lot
stuff gets
faster.
way more
And make
expensive.
more mistakes, get into debt
Absolutely. You got
faster.
way more wiggle room. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I got
It'll be
998 million bucks
fine,
left. I'm good.
Mhm.
That stuff, like the more money is not the answer. You need
Mhm.
to be smart with your money, get good with your money first,
Be able to
and then
multiply
add
your
more.
money and then add more,
And
because
then
you're actually going to be strong enough. Just like how we said, you have to
Mhm.
you have to build your way up. That's a principle of life.
Big
Okay,
time.
life is a game, and you will not win. We will not win if we do not know the rules. So that is one of the principles of life: is that you have to be able to handle what you do have right now. Okay,
Yep.
and then you're able to level up.
Big
Because
time.
if you never handle what you currently have right now in any area of your life, then how can you level up? You cannot level
100%.
up.
You won't.
Or otherwise,
It
like
just won't
maybe if
happen.
you get a little spur of extra money because
Mhm.
something good happened or something, then you're going to go back down because
Yep.
you never learned the real lesson in level 1.
Mhm.
So then how are you going to go past level 2? Even,
You
you know
won't.
what I mean?
You
So
won't.
it's not going to
And
work out so
also,
well.
there's this massive misconception with people.
Mhm.
And for some reason, I don't know why, well, I know why, but everybody thinks that you need to be super rich to afford to be healthy. You need to have lots of extra money in the bank. That is just simply not true. Yeah, there's definitely things that most people should buy for their health that costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
that can get pretty expensive, but it's not like you don't need to spend thousands of dollars every single month in order to be healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, we worked with a lot of people that definitely
Lots.
that is not an option for them. Single
No.
moms with multiple kids working multiple jobs just because they
Yeah.
need to make it happen because their kids are depending on them. Okay, like where there's a will, there's a way. If you
Mhm.
want it bad enough,
Mhm.
you'll find
You'll
some way to
make it
make it work.
happen. Yeah.
Okay, even if you're just making an extra few $100 a month from a side hustle, or you're doing some kind of online business or
Mhm.
something like that, like that's going to be a huge help long term.
Absolutely.
You don't have to start off doing things perfectly and buying every possible supplement known to man that's good for you, and
Absolutely.
hiring the most expensive people to teach you and train you and all those things. You just need to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And as you get healthier, you will get better at doing things. You will get better at living life because your brain will be working better and faster. And you'll be able
We're
to
not
think
even
clearer,
kidding.
and you'll spend a longer time in that zone, in the flow, being focused and being productive. And you'll be able to make more money as you get healthier. So you start somewhere. You start with what you have.
Mhm.
First step, cut out all the stupid expenses. Have all that extra money that you have left over and do something smart with it.
Mhm.
Buy better quality food. Buy more produce. Avoid some of the junk and the snacks and things like that. Buy a little course if you need to on diet or nutrition. Buy some books that you can learn from. Join Warrior Nation. Whatever you need to do, okay? But start somewhere and make those small changes and stick to them, and then
Mhm.
gradually increase over time. Start to buy maybe some supplements that'll help you give a little more wiggle room in your diet. Buy
Mhm.
some vitamins, buy some minerals, buy some protein powder, something
Mhm.
like that. Start a side hustle, get really good at it, make some money. Like, I mean, with the internet these days,
Oh,
like
yeah,
there's
there's
no
so
excuse
much.
for anybody that lives in a first world country
Yeah.
and has access to the internet to not make extra income every single
Yeah.
month, every single
Oh
week.
my God.
There are thousands of options out there of things that people can do where you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to spend 4 years in university. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in med school. You can
Mhm.
just take maybe an online course. You can watch a few YouTube videos. You can learn a skill, start a little marketing company, do some sales, something. Like
Mhm.
it's so easy. People have this massive limiting belief that money is a hard thing to do. Money is the easiest thing in the world. Money is the easiest part of business. Money is the easiest part of living. Honestly, it's way easier than people and having healthy relationships and dealing with stress and dealing with things. I mean, having money makes not literally everything, but almost everything better. You don't
Yes.
have to worry. You don't have to have nearly the same level of stress. There's so many problems that come up in life that you can just fix easily with money. You can spend more time with your family.
Mhm.
You can have a better marriage. You can be a better parent to your kids. You can be a better brother or sister or best friend. You can do more charitable work and give more back to the world. Like there's so many things that money will make your life better in. And so if you really want to be super healthy, like the reality is it definitely does cost money. You don't have to be rich to start, but you're
Mhm.
going to have enough money to afford the things that you need to for a long
Yeah.
term. But you can get there. you don't have to get there tomorrow. You can spend a few years, and as long as you're prioritizing your health and you want it bad enough, you'll find different things to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
Develop
just
more skills.
learn
Like
sales,
just,
get into
yeah.
some online sales job. There are thousands of them out there. Make sure that you're selling a good product and a good service, and you're working with good people, and you're actually doing something good in the world. Otherwise, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
But we live in a day and age now where literally a 13-year-old kid could make one video on Vine or TikTok of doing some stupid dance with a backpack on and get sponsored by Nike and Adidas, and he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There's limitless opportunity and potential. All that you have to do is go out and find it and work on yourself enough to make it happen and be consistent, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moral of the
Mm-hmm.
story. The lie that you need to be super rich to be healthy, that's not true.
It is a
But
lie.
everything in this planet does cost money.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that you have money rolling in that you can invest in good, smart things. And with the way the world's at, it's not hard to do.
That's not.
Anyone that tells you that it is lying. It's not always going to be the easiest thing in the world. There's definitely going to be hard times and challenges and problems to overcome and things like that. You're not just going to wake up and just all of a sudden have 10 grand in your bank. You're going to have to work for it. But as compared to how hard things can be in the world, money is the easiest thing ever. All right, right now, I want to talk to you about our new book coming out called The Living Diet. It's currently up for pre-order on our website, and if you get it before it launches, you can get it for $40 off, okay? So why would you want to buy The Living Diet? You want to buy The Living Diet because it is going to teach you and show you everything you need to know in order to create a sustainable, nutrient-dense, and amazing tasting diet that you can stick to for the long time that will support your body and all of your nutritional needs, okay? Inside of The Living Diet, you are going to get copious amounts of training and knowledge and teaching on your food, what's in your food, what your food is made of, what food does in the body, protein, fat, carbs, phytochemicals, minerals, vitamins, all these different things that you get from your food that your body needs to sustain health. You will learn it all, you will understand it, and you'll be able to use it practically to create a diet that works for you. You're also going to get probably over 100 recipes that are all delicious, all very easy to make, all focused on a busy schedule, so it doesn't take a whole ton of time. They're not super complicated, and they will support you nutritionally. You will feel full and satiated, and they all taste delicious, okay?
Okay, guys, so let's jump into probably what you clicked on this video for in the first place is how to be resourceful, how to, be healthy like the 1%. So a few things that we do, because regardless of how much—
most importantly, just how to start doing it.
So one thing that we do and we tell all of our clients is you want to find someone in your area or at least decently close to you, especially in your country. Definitely in your country. Do not do international for this. But you want to find a good company that bulk buys a bunch of healthy products. So for instance, like rice, noodles, if you like, beans, herbs, spices,
any kind of dry fruits, nuts, seeds, grains, all those things. Buying them in bulk will save you so much money long term. Yeah, you might have to spend a little bit more at that for the first bill. But I mean, you can literally get things for almost half the price that you can at the grocery store. Not a lot of the time. It's not that uncommon, especially if they have sales on, things like that, And then also, if you can find a really good company that actually knows what they're doing as far as sourcing ingredients and things like that, it's going to be a much higher chance that most of the ingredients and the products that they sell are going to be of a high quality because they typically get to pick and choose where they're sourced from. So if you find people that know what they're doing and they know what to look for as far as good manufacturers or good countries to source from, or places that have high levels of pollution versus low levels of pollution, people that understand how temperature processing certain foods can affect them and things like that, then you will definitely be more likely than not finding a really good source of lots of different varieties of products that are good. Even more so than your grocery store, because your grocery store typically they do as much as they can to source local, or they're like a big chain and they just have certain brand partners that they only deal with. So the options are a lot more limited for the variety and what they can source depending on where they are in the country or things like that. Buying in bulk saves you a ton of money and usually makes it a lot easier to find quality products.
Yeah, definitely.
And things like that.
And then what you can do is, like, if you get like a wholesale account with them or you're on their newsletter, then you'll know ahead of time if they're having sales.
Yep.
sort of thing. So especially buying meat on sale is great.
Mm-hmm.
You can just always freeze it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. And meat gets
mhm.
crazy expensive. So
Yeah.
if you can, you might not be able to find anything online or like a big massive company that ships everywhere. A lot of those places, especially with the meat and stuff,
Mhm.
there's a lot more leeway involved for lower quality meat.
Mhm.
But I mean, like what we do right now, we found a really local source. It's like a ranch, like a big farm. Okay, those are universally cheaper than the grocery store, and it's almost always way better quality meat because they
Yeah.
actually know what they're doing. They raise the animal well. They care about the
Properly.
animals. It's not coming from some massive meat
They're
factory where
not
they
like
just
hurting and
butcher and maim.
traumatizing the
Crazy.
animals.
So source local, and this is our next point, not with just meat, but as much stuff as possible.
Mhm.
If it's not something you can buy in bulk from an online supplier or some kind of maybe even a local supplier,
Mhm.
then look for the local stuff as your go-to option, right? I mean, like it can save so much money. Farmers markets and little
Mhm.
smaller grocery stores, natural stores that source from farms and places in the area where they can get their things. They get honey from a local honey farmer as opposed to
Mhm.
some massive big name brand that just ships it all across the continent, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then especially like, again, quality. The
Mhm.
quality of food is so important. And if you can get
Definitely.
better quality food at a cheaper price, why the heck wouldn't you? It doesn't make any sense not to.
Exactly. And then plus you won't have to go to the grocery store as often, so
Totally.
you'll avoid more people, so it'll
Big
be
time.
nice for your mental health too.
Big time.
Like
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
and plus also if you have like a local butcher, sometimes butchers will actually throw out the like excess fat from the
Mhm.
animals but like while they're cutting the different like sizes and stuff, different like pieces.
Mhm.
So if you have a good relationship with some of the local people in your area, the egg farmers, the butchers, the this, the that, the cheese people, all those kinds of people,
Mhm.
then maybe they have like some extra stuff they're going to throw out. And even if it's not food, even if it's like, I don't
You
know,
can feed it to your dog
hay
and
or you're
save
feeding it
tons
to
of
a
money on
dog.
dog food.
Yeah, like tons of
So much
what's
stuff.
it like not scraps, but what is it?
The entrails.
No, sorry, when you have a bunch of like peels and stuff. Totally blanking. Not
Compost.
compost. I'm sorry. Okay, compost.
Compost.
Maybe you can like make a like deal. Like if you eat a lot of vegetables, you say like, hey, like I'll
Sure.
give you extra compost, or
Yep.
kind of working
Yeah, I
out
mean, we
different.
got we've had a few clients there's different programs in local cities and towns and
Mm-hmm,
things like that where they have systems set up for people that are in low income situations, like maybe homeless shelters or single mothers,
mm-hmm,
single fathers, that sort of thing, and they'll work with local grocery stores, and whenever they're throwing out old produce or about to,
mm-hmm,
they'll just give it to these companies that have these food programs, and they deliver them and they go hand them out to different families and things like that need them, because it's
mm-hmm.
not perfect but it's still edible.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of different things you can do no matter what situation you're in. You can have an extra $1,000 a month coming in, you could have an extra $10 a month coming in, you could have
Mm-hmm.
$1,000,000 a month coming in, and there's different things you can do at different brackets of income. But you need to do something.
Absolutely. And so freezing things is great,
Freezing things,
especially
buy a freezer, it'll pay for
yes,
itself
it
so
will. It
fast.
will. That and
A
also
big ass freezer,
yeah,
buy it.
a big freezer. And then also you want to like airtight things. So not
Hmm.
just Ziploc bags, but
Yep.
you have like those little machines where you
A
can put them
vacuum
a
sealer is super
vacuum
helpful.
sealer is
Yep.
great. You want to keep it fresh. No
Just
one
to
wants
preserve
freezer
stuff,
burn
make things
to
last
preserve things.
longer. Yep.
For veggies, you can ferment it.
Yep.
We don't like to can things because usually you have to cook it a lot. And so
Yeah.
that can kill.
Whenever possible, we avoid it. But
Yeah.
if you're in a really tight spot and
Hmm.
you can, canning is what's going to keep you consistent with at least just eating vegetables or having
Yeah.
consistent healthy food going in. And
Hmm.
otherwise you wouldn't be able to keep up with the quality.
Hmm.
Then do what you got to do and
Hmm.
start one of those side hustles we talk about. Get into
Hmm.
sales, get into marketing, develop some kind of a skill that's valuable. Get a second job, get an
Hmm.
online job, do some remote work, anything.
Hmm.
Go on Fiverr or Upwork and
Yeah.
do some of your talents to do things for people here and there, and
Absolutely.
make some extra money coming in so that you can do better options in the future.
Get
But
in,
start somewhere.
exactly. If you get involved, like even like a lot of times cities or towns, they'll
Mm-hmm.
have like their own little Facebook group, and then you can connect with people,
Totally.
and maybe someone's throwing out like a bed frame, and you're like,
Yep.
oh hey, I need a bed frame. Like
Exactly.
there's so many
Go
different,
on Facebook,
yeah,
type in free, find stuff people are
free,
giving away
yeah,
for
free
free because they
stuff.
don't want to deal with it. Go pick it up, sell it for
Clean
50
it up
bucks
a
and
little bit,
do that a
DIY
few
it up.
times a week
Yeah,
if you need to.
exactly, exactly.
The options are literally
Mhm.
limitless.
Absolutely. If you need to make a little bit more money, like just reach out, say like, hey, if you want, I can come clean your house
Yep.
this Saturday, and then spend an
Totally.
afternoon cleaning someone's house and make like maybe like $50 or so, or 50
And then put
plus.
that towards a week or two's worth of healthy food.
Exactly.
And even if you don't actually really care that much about your health,
Yeah.
like if you don't give a crap at all how you look, you don't care about, you're not passionate about doing anything good with your diet, and you just want to eat things that taste good all the time, and your passion's really in traveling or photography or architecture, or just all you want to do is just sit on the couch all day and just hang out with your family and play video games or something like that. Even if health isn't a big passion or a big care of yours in your life, well, first of all, you got to change the way you think, because that's just wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to enjoy it and make it like your job or your career like we do, but it has to be important to you. Otherwise, you're never going to stick to it. Like it just has to be. So number one, change the way you think. But number two, even if your thing you care about has nothing to do with health, I can guarantee you it has everything to do with health. If all you want to do all day long is just travel the world, and you want to go to 100 different countries every single year for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years, and you have the money in the bank to do that, and you know the deals and the things, get the hotel rooms and the plane tickets and all that kind of stuff, and you're just a traveling person, okay? Good luck traveling if you're bedridden and sick because you got a fever for a week, or you got the cold or the flu and you can't travel anywhere, or you got to quarantine yourself because you got some freaking virus. Good luck traveling then, sucker. It ain't going to happen. Whether you care about your health or you don't, if you're a living human being, you care about your health. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important that like literally caring for your body is it, like your body is your temple.
Yep.
And health as well. That's how
You
you
only
live
get one
longer.
of
Like
them.
there's
only get one of them.
there's so many good reasons like to just absolutely prioritize your health.
Yep.
There's an endless list of reasons
Endless.
to do it. Like
Totally.
it's so crucial.
Absolutely.
And another thing too is like if you get vegetables to make them last longer, you can ferment them.
Yep.
That is one of the best ways. So if you can find like a good place to get a bunch of glass sealable jars, then you can do that. And it's so easy.
Yep.
All you need to ferment food, for instance, like cabbage to make sauerkraut, you just need the cabbage and salt. You don't even need water. You don't even need water.
Cabbage is super cheap.
Super cheap. And
then it'll last you a long time.
And then you
add it into some rice, add it into a salad,
Mm-hmm.
add it on top of your fish or a steak, or just have it by itself as a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's ways that you can do it, and the fact that people think that they're in certain situations out there where literally being healthy is just not an option for them because of a lack of money, or because of where they live in the world, or because they don't have access to any healthy stores, or they're in a very unhealth conscious state or province or city or town and they don't have access to anything. That is nonsense. If your life was literally on the line, if you were going to die tomorrow, you would find a way to make it work.
If there's a will, there's a way. You have to make time. You have to make it happen.
Yep.
But you can do it where, if like we can do it. We have seen people like be in such harsh situations, been in harsh situations ourselves. And guess what? Found a way.
Totally.
Found a way.
Totally.
So,
and then also another thing people can do as far as supplements and stuff goes, look up a lot of the ingredients in some of the supplements that you want to buy and the expensive supplements that you want to pay for, and use some of those online bulk suppliers or some kind of an online, ingredient or powder distributor. I don't know exactly what they're called. But you can find those specific ingredients in powder form in a good, clean way. And you might not have the complete supplement, but like, for example, lucuma powder, incredibly high in vitamin C and a complete vitamin C. So you can find some lucuma powder. It's way cheaper than a vitamin C bottle that you can buy from your supplement company
and everything. Yeah,
exactly. And you can get started on it because, like, really the only important thing about supplements is the ingredients in them. Okay, so if it might not be quite as complex or quite as complete and beneficial because it might have other things in it that could help activate the vitamin C faster, or other things, vitamins or minerals in there that'll help with other parts of your body. But start somewhere. like lucuma powder, maca powder, there's baobab powder. There's tons of different superfoods and ground up foods and plants and herbs and roots and things like that are really high in a lot of the ingredients that you would want to get from supplements and vitamin supplements, mineral supplements, protein powders, things like that people typically buy every day. And you spend $50 on a bottle of something and it lasts you a few weeks or maybe a month or two if you really stretch it out. But you can spend $50 on a bulk supply of some of these powdered ingredients that are in these actual supplements you're buying.
Yeah.
And it can last you 2, 3, 4, 5 months easy. And you're spending the same amount
or more.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, it might not be perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. I'll bet every cent I got in my life on that right there.
And then plus too is like it'll be cheaper, but you're having a more pure form of that nutrient as well, because the less processing, the more pure, right? So like
the less people get their hands on it, it's
just better.
Way better.
People have a tendency to mess things up, so just try to involve less people in your house,
absolutely.
and it'll be great.
I can't afford a gym membership. Learn calisthenics, start boxing, buy a used punching bag, hang it up in your garage, hang it up in your office,
go to the
put
park,
it somewhere,
do
find
push-ups,
a tree
do
with a relatively level branch. Like there's no possible, there's no excuse that anybody can give me that we can't come up with an answer or a solution for. It's people have been problem solving since the dawn of mankind. All right. We didn't have electricity. We found electricity. We got sick and tired of walking. We figured out we can ride horses. We got sick and tired of riding horses because they crapped all over the place and they're really high maintenance, and we decided to invent cars. Like, where there's a will, there's a way. If you have a problem, it's not something that you can't beat. You are an amazing, unbelievably powerful being.
Yes.
And you have limitless potential inside of you.
You do.
And if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. You are incredibly powerful, and your mind your mind is better than the best supercomputer that humans have ever invented or probably ever will invent.
Yeah.
So if you want something bad enough, if you need to find a solution to a problem bad enough, if you spend enough time on it, if you work on it enough, you'll figure it out. Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
There's no other answer other than you win if you don't quit.
Just don't quit. The only losers are those that give up.
Absolutely.
So just keep going. Make sure you have that why. And you know what? You're going to find a way.
You will find a way.
You absolutely will. And on top of just fermenting your veggies, you can also, of course, dehydrate your veggies.
Yep.
So you can do that.
Totally.
You know, you could literally even do it in the oven. You don't necessarily need a dehydrator. We use a dehydrator because it's really great.
But you can't. No, they can't really use an oven because that just ruins it.
Well, it depends how low of a temperature the oven can go. But the dehydrator is definitely best. And so you can dehydrate things like onions, green peppers. You can dehydrate like
kale,
everything.
Broccoli,
apples, bananas,
nuts.
Yeah, like nuts, banana, like
some dried old nuts.
Absolutely, everything. You can dehydrate and you can keep for a really long time.
Yep. And then everybody always says that, oh, I don't have time. Well, you had time to go see this Avatar sequel, didn't you? You had time to watch your favorite show on Netflix. You had time to get your nails done. You had time to get your hair done. You had time to go to the gym for 2 hours and make a post on Instagram and talk to your gym
scroll
bros.
through TikTok. You had time to do that.
Everybody has time. Everybody has the same 24 hours in the day. Okay. If there's people out there that can run multiple 6, 7, 9-figure businesses with hundreds of employees and thousands of employees. There's single moms out there with 4 or 5 kids and nobody to depend on. And she's managing literally 5 or 6 individual human beings and raising them up by herself and working multiple jobs. And she can figure it out. Okay. You can figure it out too. There's no such thing as I don't have time. There's you don't make the time, and it's not important enough for you to make the time for it. It's just that simple. So if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But be honest about it. Don't make some excuse and try to pass things off like you're in a situation that you can't possibly control or get out of ever, because you can. You know, even if you're stuck in a dead-end job and you're literally working 18 hours a day and all you do is work and sleep, you can do enough you can save up some money every week, every now and then, to eventually get out of that job and then actually find and actually have the time. Okay, you're not in a third world country, you're not in a war-torn country, you haven't been kidnapped by some militia. or some terrorist group, and you're
Yeah,
working
and you're literally held by
and,
physical chains,
and you're
like,
not being forced to work at gunpoint in the cobalt mines to make Apple
yeah.
iPhones. Like, you have options. If you have the ability to watch this right now and hear us talking, and you have an internet connection or you have a device that can listen and watch this, you have freaking time.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
like, there's no other answer. You either want it or you don't.
There are people that don't even have legs and they climb mountains. There are like people that come from the poorest countries in the world, the poorest families ever, and they end up being extremely successful and worth a lot of money. If there's a will, there is a way.
100%.
Absolutely. It's just strategy. But if we keep believing what everyone tells us, hard work, sorry, you come stay hard. But if we believe the status quo, sorry, these are the cards that you're dealt, you can't play with them. You can't. No. Here's the thing: regardless of whatever cards you are dealt, you can still win the game if you play it right. And to play it right, you need information, you need wisdom, you need mentorship, and you need commitment. You need to know the rules of the game.
You need to know all the little glitches and hacks, and the little cheat codes.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is like, if you're still at the table because you're alive, and maybe someone has a different hand given to them than you did, or than whoever did, but you can still play. You just have to be strategic, because you could end up having the worst cards at the beginning of the game, but you could still win the game.
Absolutely.
The only time that you
still got air in your lungs, it's not over.
Absolutely. It's not over. Like, you think of like all these times, through wars or these terrible things that have happened. What if people gave up? Could you imagine where the world would be if our grandparents, if our great-grandparents, if all those people before us gave up and didn't fight for our freedoms?
Absolutely.
If it like gave up and just was like, nothing we can do, for so many situations throughout history. What it took was people overcoming their own personal doubt, their own personal anxiety, and belief or disbelief, just believing the what people told them, which can be, just because someone says, you can't make it, the only thing that you should take that as is it's a challenge.
Absolutely.
It's a challenge, and you're going to win, and you're going to kick ass.
If somebody has done it before you,
then you can do it
too.
You can do it too.
It's just that simple. There's people that are born with amazing gifts, and they got super big talents. And there's probably not going to be anybody for a long time that can beat Michael Jordan at basketball in his prime. But anybody can play basketball. You don't have to necessarily be the best in the world at it in order to play.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we just want to hope that you guys take this this lesson and really think like, hey, I really can do something about it.
Just moral of the story.
Yeah.
This whole episode, just do it.
Just do it.
Not Nike, like actually do it. Not some like fancy slogan that sells shoes and weird looking cheap pants. Okay. I guess I just blew out our Nike sponsorship potential. But actually do something. You are physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially capable.
Yes.
So you have to use it. You have to use that potential. You have to actually use the fact that you have been blessed so much, and use those blessings to make something good out of it. Not just the stuff you've been blessed with. Don't just leave it there. You've been given gifts and talents, and you have energy, and you have the ability to wake up in the morning, and you have the capacity to work and to do good things, and to put your talents and your skills and your resources to good use. So it's your moral obligation to do it.
Absolutely.
It's that simple.
Absolutely.
And the only way you're going to be able to do that well and for a long time is to be healthy. So make your health a top priority and actually do something about it. Otherwise, nobody else is going to. No one's going to come and force feed broccoli down your throat. Nobody's going to come and smack the donuts out of your hand. Nobody's going to come and tell you to put the pizza down and get up off the couch and stop watching Netflix and binge watching your favorite show. You have to do it.
You have to decide
and you can do it. And so you should.
And even if someone did do that for you, like, the thing is, it's like, if you keep trying to pick, if you pick
some random person, just boom, kick the door down. Give me that damn donut.
like David Goggins or something like that.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be funny. But even if someone did do that, like if you keep trying to like pick someone up, then you'll have to be picking them up their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make that decision for yourself.
Yep.
And the more that we just blame the system or blame the cards that we've been dealt, or if we blame other people, blame our parents, blame this, blame that, if we keep doing that, then that'll never change.
Never.
It'll never change. And that'll be the situation that we'll always been in for the rest of our life. Accountability is beautiful. It is good. And it's the only way to actually make change is if you say, okay, now it's up to me to,
Absolutely.
the ball's in my court.
Absolutely.
I got to do this.
Yep.
I have to do this. And I'm not going to give up. Because if you keep saying, oh, there's nothing I can do, then guess what? You'll never do anything. Yep. You'll never get anything done. You'll never succeed. You have to take accountability and put your health in your hands. You have to do it. You have to do it.
So you want to be as healthy as the 1%? This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You save as much money as possible. You make as much money as possible. You use that money to do good things for yourself, for your health. You stop doing as much stupid stuff as possible. You consistently seek the truth. You be consistent with it. You just do something good.
Be honest
because
with
it's going to be way better than doing something bad.
Yeah.
And inevitably, you'll be just as healthy as the person that has all the money in the world. It's that simple. You save the money. You make as much money as possible. You make good choices with that money. You buy the things that you need to buy. You put the things in your body that you need to put in your body. You keep the things out of your body that you need to keep the things out of your body. And you seek the truth. You look for things that are true. You read books that are true. You talk to people that speak truth. You look for courses and programs and experts that actually know what the heck they're doing that can teach you.
Just figure it out.
You start somewhere and you level up and you level up and you level up and you level up, and you will get there and be ridiculously healthy, just like us, just like all of our clients. If we can do it, if they can do it, you can do it too. There's no excuses ever. Just make it freaking happen.
Absolutely. And just there's so many people, like you can be so resourceful, like just by connecting with people in your community to find, just
do it. Or I'm going to tell your mom.
Yeah. What if they don't have a mom?
Then I'll tell the grandma.
I'll tell your grandma. Hey, how about that?
I'll do it.
Okay. Anyway,
watch me.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Don't test me.
He will. He's the kind of guy that would knock down your door and slap the donut out of your hand. Best friend you could ever have, man. Anyway, so be resourceful, make smart decisions, take accountability.
Do it.
Yeah, just do it. So
thank you for watching, people.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Day. Hopefully this was helpful. Just make it happen.
Make it happen. You can figure it out. You can do it. But you have to decide and make the decision today that you are going to do it.
And if you want to start somewhere, keep watching this podcast. Go check out some of our previous episodes.
Ask questions.
Look us up on Instagram. Ask questions. Do something. But start learning right now because we are teaching you guys everything that you need to know if you want to be ridiculously healthy and you want to make an amazing life for yourself. We're teaching you all right here because we're living proof. We've done it. We've come from the bottom. We're not at the absolute, we're not the richest people in the world, but we're freaking the healthiest. I can tell you that much right now.
We have some pretty big goals, so there's a long way to go because of how big our goals are.
We're bringing you guys the truth. We're bringing you the information. We're teaching you the skills and the things and the lessons that you need to know to make it happen. So do it right now. Actually start something. Go to our channel, pick another video that we've made, another episode, and learn something. Take notes, write stuff down, and actually go implement it. Make it happen.
Then please like and subscribe.
I don't even care if you do that. Just learn something, dude. Just watch it and apply it.
Drink water.
Eat broccoli.
Stop eating hot dogs.
Squat.
Yeah, squat. Squat is good.
Do it.
Squat is good.
Squatting.
Yeah, squatting.
Squatting saves
10
lives.
10 push-ups right now.
Squatting saves lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, people. Have an amazing day. Be a better person for you and your family. You can do it.
You can do
Prioritize your health.
You're worth fighting
for. You will be healthy.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank
Beautiful.
You guys.
Thank
Have an
you
amazing
guys.
day.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Till next time. What do you mean, how do you talk about the title? You talk about the title.
Very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hand. I can't do a cut like that with you going because Drew's gonna have to try to
stop
make it look
making me
good.
laugh. Okay. It wasn't Michael Jordan. Who said? Was it?
Stop it.
No.
Get some help.
No, I don't think it was.
How much do you want to bet?
I
dude?
don't want to bet anything.
Exactly.
I think it was someone else.
No. That was Michael Jordan. I will show you as soon as we're done.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
Yes, it was.
Keep going.
I'm gonna cover your face this time. The real. If you don't have the truth about how. Stop it.
No.
Hand.
Aww.
If you don't have the truth, if you don't know how the body works, if you don't stop.
Like different things you can do.
You made fun of my hand movements for
and
10
it worked.
minutes.
And it worked.